Hey everyone, it's Miranda. I'm going to take a stab at doing a video today. My dog is a corgi and he barks a lot, so excuse me if he does that. To get started, I just did this new Lush cuticle softener. It came in the subscription bag from Sparkle & Company. I just get the basic bag, but I wanted to try this out, and I was going to skip this part, but I kind of figure the prep part of doing your nails is important. You can tell I've removed my prior color and haven't shaped or anything, so they look a little bit scraggly, but this says you just put it on for a minute. I went ahead and put it on because you didn't really need to see me brushing it on. And I wanted to save you the extra time, but I'm scrubbing with this little tool. I got it in an order from Cuticle Candy. It's this little pumice stone gadget, and whoever invented this is seriously an angel sent down from heaven, like the smartest person ever. It takes off any dead skin you had on your cuticle and makes your cuticle line look really nice when you're done. So if you guys want to hang out while I do this for a minute, I did pour a glass of wine because I feel like that's kind of mandatory when you're doing your nails. But I'm only going to do this hand for you guys. You can notice my other hand is kind of rowdy and busted too. What I actually did for my last mani, I did a 24-hour manicure, and I did it using the Sparkle & Company Luxe Peel-Off Base. I'm going to use that again today, but I'm going to use it differently than I did for my 24-hour manicure. For my 24-hour manicure, then I coated the entire nail. And I'll probably talk about this here again in a second once we actually get to that step. I coated the entire nail, and so then it really was like ready to pop off by the end of the day yesterday, which was great because that's all I needed it for. We had an event here for my son's birthday, and I wanted to use a sparkly teal color that I had, and I didn't want to commit to it all week. So I should probably show you what manicure we are doing today. These are dip powders, and the ones I've selected is Revel Nail Blowout, and I'm going to do Blowout on my pointer and my pinky. This is SB15 reversed with silver base from Sparkle & Co. It's got some pink and kind of purple and other reflective colors in there. I don't know how close I can get to my lens for you to see it, but that's going to be the middle nail. And then I've been dying to use this since it came out. This was one of the VIPS colors, very important sparklers from Sparkle & Company. And it, those VIPS members got it early, a month early, and then as soon as I could get my hands on it, I needed it, and I still haven't used it. I mean, it was months ago. But there was holidays and all kinds of crazy stuff. So I'm now getting to do my purple vibes. I know that St. Patrick's Day is coming up and Mardi Gras just started, but I don't care. I want to do purple today. So this is ready to rinse. I'm going to rinse real quick, so bear with me 10 seconds. I hate to leave you. Okay. That wasn't, clearly I'm not the best video maker. It's my first time. I think I said that. All right, So we've got a clean nail bed. Let me see if I can make my camera focus on a close-up. Okay, so here's my nails. I have not shaped them yet, but just my nail beds are clean. My cuticles look nice. I like that blush softener. That is pretty cool, and it did, it smelled good. It smelled like lemony blush. I don't know, it smells nice if you want to try it. And it was quick, it only took a minute. So, okay, I'm hoping I'm not going to run out of time on this film. Get it a sippy. What I'm going to do, I told you I coated my whole nail with this Luxe Peel Base. I'm not going to do that this time. Just in the center of my nail. Actually, I am going to file off this little edge because I still have a little bit of that teal glitter. I'm not going to spend a lot of time shaping, pre-shaping yet, because I'm going to shape after I dip, and the dip adds bulk anyways. So I'm just not going to invest the time for that right now. But here is what I'm going to do. So I'm just going to do like this, a big fat stripe down the middle here, and it's leaving a bare perimeter around the edge of the nail. And I did go to my tip because I want it to come off probably in the next 4 to 5 days, because that's when I'll want to be doing a St. Patrick's Day mani. So I really only want this for maybe Monday through Friday if possible. And you just leave the perimeter of your nail bare and put this in the middle. It's going to dry clear. It's already drying. Hopefully you can tell. So it's already drying. It's a little bit pink when you put it on. And then, so it says I only have 12 minutes left on my tape. I might have to erase some things and come back to this. Okay, so first color we want to do is Blowout. Actually, I lied. I'm gonna grab, I'm gonna do Blowout first. Bear with me. Okay, so I got everything out except for Blowout. So I'm back and I have Revel Nail Blowout, holding it upside down because that's what I do. What I do, and I got some purple cupcake liners for the occasion, is I am going to pour over my nail. That's the method I like, and that's what works for me. I know I keep getting up because I forget stuff. I've never made a video, and I thought I was prepared, and I'm not, so. My liquid, I have started using the triple vitamin base, and it's amazing. I just made a mess. I used to do the 3/4 line, and then for my first coat, and then do 2 full coats when I used Revel base, but this triple vitamin formula is so thin. I'm just doing full coats, and I'm going to pour this first one over my nail. And let that one sit. I did just kind of goof because I wanted to do a different layout, but we'll make it work. So just be really careful not to get it on your actual cuticle. You get just right up close to it. Hopefully you can see that I'm doing this on the camera. See that little edge on the edges? Maybe it's a little too slow, it dried. So, a little 99-cent brush. This one's gonna be good to brush off. I actually didn't want to do this nail blowout, so I'm gonna end up covering that, which is why I am happy with the colors I selected, because I can fix that. I do want this pinky nail to be blowout. All right, now that I have kind of a good amount of powder, I like to just do it in between two cupcake liners. This is good when you have a sample also. So if you just have a 1 teaspoon sample, then you can just transfer it back and forth between the cupcake liners, and it's awesome. Make sure this one's brushed off really nice. We're gonna do 4 dips. Hopefully I have time to show you all this. And when I say time, not because I don't have time to just sit here, I actually just don't have a lot of recording space, so I'm a little bit worried about that. And then wipe your brush on the side in between. And this is great because you can get right along all the edges, coat it really great. I do this with flats and I do this with shimmers, and it gives a really smooth application. Let's see if I can get my camera to focus. It makes it really smooth. So just gonna sit here and dip. I was telling you that I had that sparkly glitter teal. It's actually a Sparkle & Co glitter. I've been using them a lot lately. I started with Revel and then just got entranced by all the amazing glitters they have. So I still have Revel as my go-to for flats and shimmers. And then for a lot of the glitter dips that I use, I want to make sure that one's really good. Then I've been definitely loving all of the Sparkle & Co colors. Here we're getting to our 3rd dip, and my coats are still really thin. Just want to make sure that I'm getting right to the edge, and so I have less filing to do when I start to file. I was kind of surprised. I've had a few ladies ask me to show them my process, and honestly, I've picked up all of these same tips and tricks from all of the ladies in the nail communities, especially the Revel Nail, and then Sparkle & Co, and then I really like Nail Artists Anonymous. I want a little tip real quick. The worst video maker ever. That one looked like it had just a little edge that I wanted to get. Need to clear it up. Okay, and there's a little flaky right there, but it'll brush off. Okay, brush this one. So, make sure this one's nice, right up against the cuticle line. Definitely the toothpick and the cuticle trick learned on the community. Whenever you break a nail and you don't want to punish all the others for one sister misbehaving, you can do the tea bag method and basically recreate the nail or just strengthen it from its break. There's lots of cool stuff that I've learned. So I really like how this looks. The triple vitamin, the dip is so thin. What if I can get this to focus? Maybe if we go this way first. Focus my nail. There we go. It's so thin. I love these liquids. So I'm trying to decide if I want to do a fourth dip. Honestly, I'm gonna say no. I like the coverage I have, and this mayonnaise is not lasting forever, so I'm not trying to keep it for 2 weeks. Which I've never actually, since I've started DIY dipping, I've never kept a mayonnaise for 2 weeks. I'm notorious for changing mine about every 3 to 5 days. If I'm traveling for a trip, then it might end up for maybe, I think 8's the longest, and it was because I was out of town. I just didn't have the opportunity to do it. Okay, next one I'm gonna do this lighter glitter before I do the darker glitter. I always like to do my flats or shimmers first if I'm going to do an accent with glitter, so that you don't get glitter in your flat. Because then once you get the glitters open and they're everywhere, you will appreciate doing yourself a favor and doing those secondary. So we're gonna do SB15 silver base. And you can get this on the secret menu. This one's also known as Amanda Fierce. Shout out to Amanda. She is, she's also a big Panthers fan, and that's what my family is. I was starting to tell you what I was doing yesterday with the sparkly teal, and I got distracted, but we're gonna do this middle finger here. The sparkly teal glitter dip was because we had my son's first birthday party yesterday, and we had Sir Purr, the Panthers mascot, come to the party. So, you know, of course I had to have cute nails for Sir Purr. He was our guest of honor, so that was really fun. And everybody had a good time. You can tell my voice is a little scratchy. I was actually at a business conference in Orlando from Sunday to Thursday, and then spent Friday cleaning my house and getting, party goods. Okay, so I did around the cuticle you saw with the toothpick, and now I'm gonna pat it with my finger because these glitter flakes are very chunky. They're a little bit more flexible than some glitters. I don't know if it's the same kind of glitter and just cut into random shapes or shreds, but as normal glitters, like kind of the chunkier glitters that they have, but it kind of seems a little bit different to me. I don't know if that's really just in my mind or not. But yeah, anyways, so Sir Purr was with us yesterday, and I was super excited. I'm gonna brush off the excess, excuse me. But between a week at a business conference and then having like 30 people over yesterday, my voice is gone. So I was definitely ready to wind down, have a glass of wine, and talk to you all about dipping. I'm only gonna do 2, and definitely wipe off your brush when you're doing any glitter so you don't get it in your product. And then I lay flat. So you notice I did a different dipping style for my shimmer, or I'm sorry, for my flat color. And now I'm doing the lay flat approach for my glitter, because you will pick up, number one, more glitter. Oh, look at that shine. Ah, it's so beautiful. Let's see if I can get close. We'll zoom. Zoom camera. Oh, it's gonna be so pretty. Yeah, I'm happy with my color selection right now. I used this for one of my Valentine's Day manicures, and I honestly, if I could find an excuse to use it all the time, I would, because it is so gorgeous. And okay, so 2 coats. It's so thin too. I love, you guys, if you haven't tried this triple vitamin base, it's incredible. You need this in your life. Okay, next we're going to do, this is my Sugar Fairy Fierce. I got it as a sample because I couldn't wait whenever it first came out. So I do intend to buy an actual jar of it, but I have so many colors right now that honestly, right now for me this is plenty. And then if it, I need a heads up, Christy, Miss Christy Sparkle Godmother, if you ever decide to retire that one, you're gonna have to holler at me first so I can buy it in massive quantities. All right, so this is the nail I messed up because I got distracted, and that's what I do that. Here's the way when you apply it. If you can tell, I don't start all the way at my cuticle line. I start a little bit up, and then I kind of fan out my brush, and then make sure that when I pull up, I'm coating the nail completely. But it helps you just get really close to without touching. And I know you all have seen this probably on 1,000 videos. So just take your time and kind of create that line with the liquid as you go, and you'll have so much easier of a time. Okay, so since that one was a sample and the jar is a little bit awkward, I'm going to do it flat, but I just made a little bit of space in my cup. See how I just did like that? Fanned it out, and I'm going to lay it flat this way. And just kind of pat it around, make sure I get the edges nice. Oh my God, I'm such a purple fanatic. I really, really, really love this. Okay, I'm not gonna actually brush the nail. I'm gonna brush around it just to get the extra glitter off, and then I'm gonna come back and brush it. I don't think I need to do another coat. Oh, yeah, I don't think I need to do another coat. That was full coverage. We'll find out though for sure once I do brush this, because I thought that before. And then when I brushed it, I was surprised. I actually had that for a color that my mom just did recently. And you know, since I did put Blowout underneath, I might be thinking that it's got more coverage than it really does. So, I don't know, maybe I'll end up liking the nail that I messed up better than the nail that I'm doing the way that I had intended. I hope you can see what I'm doing. I'm probably not being very friendly to the camera. Here we go. All right, gonna brush that off. Oh, it's so good. If this one's good, then I'm not gonna do another coat because this one's so good. And I'm gonna put a clear on top. So we'll see how this one turned out. I mean, it's good, but there are maybe just a little bit around the edges. I could use one more on this one. Okay. I think I'm gonna run out of time. I'm gonna have to do this in increments. This time I want to make sure to get all the way close to these edges here. Make sure I get really good coverage because that's where I missed the first time. And then you can kind of tilt like this too and make sure that when you're putting your nail into the powder that you're not actually scraping the bottom. And like, you know, smudging or mucking up your, you know. So here's my color combo. I'm gonna do clear and then I'll show you how I file. I'm not gonna do clear on the flat colors, just the glitter ones. Now that I did this one twice, I feel like I am gonna do this one twice. Why not? That's probably my OCD. I'm like, I want them to match, even though they do. I feel like they'll be better matched. When you shake it like this, the glitter particles float to the top, so that will help you get a really nice full coverage glitter effect. And sometimes I pat it. All right, feeling like a purple goddess. All right, I'm gonna cut for a minute and I'll be back to do the clear. Okay, so I had to take a quick little break to get my camera some more memory and to get my clear dip. So I'm using Vivien, it's Revel Nail Vivien, it's the clear. And I'm just going to do a coat of clear over the glittery ones. This will be helpful so that I can still buff and smooth them, and I can still file around my cuticle edges, but I won't actually shave down any of the glitter and then create silver specks. This one Amanda Fierce in the middle that I'm using anyways. It probably wouldn't do too much damage. I'm gonna pour for the clear. I like this better because it gives a nice even and thin coat of clear. So if you have a silver glitter, you don't have to use clear. I do still prefer it myself because am I even in camera? Probably not. I prefer it myself because I think it gives like a really nice, shiny, smooth top coat effect. And it really makes me look professional. Sorry, I warned you my dog would probably bark. So now my baby and my husband and my dog are all up. So I doubt there's going to be peace and quiet for the rest of this video, but you know what? That's how mama life is. I think a lot of ladies can relate. You squeeze in time to do your nails when you can. And it's not always a spa day. Definitely make it happen in the middle of chaos. All right. So notice I'm just gonna pour. Kind of just go back and forth, side to side, make sure that I get a good coat. And for the clear, I do like to let it soak in. You can kind of tell when it's soaking. It'll give like a deeper color. And when you do it, it's so funny because I always, when I do my mom's nails, I'm always like Sorry, Mom, it's gonna get worse before it gets better, because once you put the clear powder over your glitter, you like, it will focus. There we go. It's like, where did all my sparkles go? Oh, it looks so crummy. But once you activate and buff, then it revives and looks better than ever. Okay, so we did our clear. I did get some little purple glitter flakes. That's why I'm actually not gonna pour it back in the rest of this clear that I have. I'll put it in a separate container and maybe use it just for glitters, because this is still a clean batch of clear and I didn't want to taint it. So I do that sometimes just to make sure that I'm keeping the best set of products that I can. Okay, we are ready to activate. I keep my activator liquid low. People think it looks kind of, you know, janky, but I keep it low. I kind of just shake it around and wet the brush. But I do that on purpose, because then if you mess up your activator, or if you get a bunch of powder in it, or glitters, things like that, then you do not waste much product if you need to dump it. So I keep it maybe like a fourth to a third full, and I have the Revel refill, so I just squirt a little in there when I need it. And so every couple manis, if it gets discolored because it got, you know, a dark color or a bunch of glitter in there, I don't feel like I just ruined a whole bottle of activator. You probably noticed I do mix products, because I have triple vitamin base and the Revel activator. I'm also going to use the Revel top coat. I know a lot of people have problems with it. I've had my share of problems. It's every once in a while, but I really do feel like it's usually when I'm rushing and I'm not wiping my brush that I get my brush hardened. I mean, there's times where it's felt like I haven't done that, like it just did it on its own. But okay, now we're gonna shape a little bit, and I use the smoother side of this file. I got it on Amazon. It's a 100/180 file. This is the part that I wouldn't think anybody would really care to see, but this is actually what everybody's been asking to see, is how I shape my nail. So I'll try to do it where you can see. I do a tapered square, and I do feel a little self-conscious because my husband's over in the living room and he can hear me making a video. So you can hear me talking to myself. The tip or trick for doing the tapered square, if I can make the camera focus, when you're doing the flat part, I'm trying to hold it where you can see, you go like literally perpendicular to your finger, like T to your finger, and go straight across and get that really nice flat edge. That's really gonna give it a good squaring off there, and then you can work on the sides. And so when you're doing the sides, you kind of do a little bit at a time, and so don't go, you know, bonkers, but try to hold it at an angle, and don't dig it into your finger, but just, you know, rest it against your finger and start doing a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and just work it until you see the shape start to come through that you're looking for. My thumb itself is getting a little bit long, and that clear made it really thick. So once I start filing that down, it'll be easier. I'll probably come back and shape this one a little bit. But for my pointer, I wonder if I could zoom. Here, that might help you guys out. So for my pointer, it's just a little bit of an angle, and that's where the edge of my nail bed starts, where my nail meets my fingertip. And so that's where I start my angle to bring it in. Sorry, I'm trying to stay in camera too. Probably not doing the best job. And then make sure you're doing the T. And just do a little bit at a time. So you might think that your T is like so perfect. And I definitely have thought that before, just looking straight down on it. But go ahead and fold your hand over like this and look at it like you would if you were gonna admire your mani. And check to see if that flat spot really is like truly gonna be flat. Because I mean, you want it to look nice like this, but honestly I kind of want it to make sure that it's even, like they're gonna like meet up nice and perfectly even when I go like this. And then don't mind this pinky, I broke it in 6th grade, so it's a little wonky and it sticks out, but nobody's ever made fun of me for it, so I appreciate that. So I kind of, if you can tell, just getting the clear makes it really thick, so sometimes you're not going to achieve your shape before you do the filing with the drill. And that's okay. I just want to cut down a little bit of my drill time and get off any excess. That I can now, and save myself a little bit of troubles later. But since it is going to be thicker right now, right this moment, then I might not achieve that. And that's okay. I'm not going to use a lot of energy until I am really, perfecting it anyways after the e-file. This one is nice and thin because it was the flat coat and I did not put clear on it. So it's already like awesome. And it was pretty easy to shape. So I'm pretty happy with the shape of this one already. So the flat ones I don't even need to file with my e-drill. I'm only going to buff them because they're so smooth and thin already. This triple vitamin is awesome. I'm probably not in camera, sorry guys. So it's nice and smooth. Just need a little bit of buffing. I highly, highly, highly recommend getting the triple vitamin liquids. They are awesome. Honestly, I might not even have to use my drill around my cuticle. And if you don't have an e-drill, you could totally get away with it. I still will use my drill because I'm a perfectionist and it will bother me if I don't clean those up just right. But I love it because if I'm doing a flat color, it's quick, like we could be done. But since I used this glitter and I have that clear on it, we're going to have to bust out our little friend here. I'm going to move my tray that I work on, and you're gonna see this really ugly brown towel because this is what I just drill on, and then I go and shake it out over the trash can. So this one goes in both directions. Up is the one that I do for my left hand, holding with my right hand, and then down is what I do for the other hand. So hopefully, maybe I can bring you guys back further. So I can do it. I do it on the edge of my kitchen counter. Perfect. I think you guys can see that. You will feel how the drill direction is effective because it will catch your nail weird if you go the wrong way on it and it doesn't feel good. But you can see I'm clearing off kind of a good chunk of that clear. It did go on pretty thick, so I'm not too worried about it. But I do want to try to keep a little bit of a light hand here, even though I like it thin. I don't want to create silver specks in this purple glitter. It happens a lot on the sides because it's usually a little bit thinner on the sides, just from naturally how you dip, and then just shaping and everything. The edges, the side edges of your nails get a little bit thinned out. But I am going to try to, right in here, because I have a really strong C-curve, I try to thin it right there so it doesn't look as much like a hump. All right, so my camera died because I'm clearly the best at making videos. I did end up finishing filing this nail, and it is, if I can show you, a lot thinner. It's getting long, so it is kind of curving weird, so I do adjust a little bit for that when I am filing. I haven't done around my cuticles yet, so I'm going to thin this out, but shaping's a little bit easier once you get that bulk off. When I was saying earlier, this part I don't like though, so see how it looks like a little curved? So I am going to use my trusty file and make that look straight from the side instead of hooked. And so that's why when you take your dip off, or at least for me, my natural nail is not perfectly shaped like this. You're kind of manipulating both your natural nail and the dip. And that helped also reduce some of the weird curving that I have just because this nail's getting too long. I probably need to just file it down and call it a day. I probably shouldn't have had it this long to begin with, but it's kind of one of those things, once you start dipping and your nails are healthy and they're growing strong, that you just can't resist letting them get longer. I do work in an office generally. I've been traveling for work, like I said earlier. I have a few more trips here in March and April, but I type a lot. So I can't have them crazy long. And I have a baby, so he's gonna turn 1 officially on Wednesday. So yeah, I mean, I'm doing stuff. I don't have time for huge nails, but I like when other people are able to wear them and have them looking really pretty. So I'm going to, you didn't get to see probably the way my video cut off, me do my thumb, but I just lightly take off the clear, really smooth it down, thin it out, come across like this. And like I said, I have a really strong C curve. So if you have flatter nails, this is probably easier than it is for someone like me, because I have to really maneuver around my nail and get different angles to get the sides and everything accomplished. It's still kind of thick. And so if you remember, I only did 2 dips, but the clear dip for me always just seems a little bit thick, which I do like because then that gives me some wiggle room when it comes to shaping and buffing and using your e-file, that I don't venture into the actual dip color when it's a glitter and then screw up my look. So I'm hoping that I'm even in camera. I was totally paying attention to my nail and not paying attention to you guys. So take off a little bit on the edges, thin it down a little bit, try to get a little bit of the middle part here thinned down too, because like I said, my nails curve very strongly and I like to try to make them look a little less humpy. I don't know if that's the right word. And it works for now. I really like this file. I got it on Amazon. I think it was 25 bucks, if that. And then I invested in drill bits. So we'll see, this one's my favorite from a little ceramic kit that I got. And it's perfect for doing the tops of your nail beds like this and really getting everything smooth and thin. I actually want to thin this one out just a little bit. I'm going to risk it. I hope I don't screw this up. But it's still a little bit thick on the end. Okay, I can tell I'm going to lose some of the glitter color if I go too thin though. Alright, so this one's good as far as thinness. And then, like I told you, my flat color, this blowout color, I am not going to drill on the actual nail bed like this. The triple vitamin formula is so thin and smooth that just that little bit of buffing that I did earlier is, I mean, great. So I am going to do just a smidge around my cuticle line, make it really nice and sharp. But that's it, you guys. And so I have these other, they're cuticle nail bits. And this one, can I even show you? It's a little bit rounded on the tip. And it's the first one that I use for my cuticle area. So you will see me do this part. I think this is probably what people were actually interested in, is if you have these bits, then I go right, and I kind of hold it, so you guys, I'm not a professional, so I'm gonna put this on YouTube, but disclaimer, do not come for me, because I am not a professional, and I am not teaching a class here. I'm just showing you what I do for my nails. I feel like every YouTuber has to say that, and I'm not actually a YouTuber. I just know that this is going to go on YouTube. and I feel like I should follow the advice that they give when they do that. So I go right to my cuticle, and I actually am touching my cuticle, but since it's rounded and I'm lightly doing this, I am not jabbing this into my actual finger. I'm just like kind of softly resting it, but keeping control and letting the E-file do the work to take off some of that bulk right there. Just up the side and across and up the side. So I'm gonna actually do that for all of the nails. Since I have this file on, I'll just go ahead and do them all. It probably is my regular process to do one bit for everything, and then switch to the next bit, if that made sense. Like since I already have it set up, go ahead and use it on all the nails instead of switching back and forth between bits. So this one is a glitter, and it needs a little bit of bulk taken off. So I'm holding it right, stronger than 45-degree angle. Like a really, sometimes I kind of hold it where it's almost flush and really let it take the bulk off at a really steep slant. And I'm hoping I'm showing you if I'm even doing this right in the video. And let it just really do the work for me. This next bit that I'm going to use is the best one. But this one's a good starter. And it helps get the next one ready for its job. Yeah, so anyways, the tips, the drill bits and the drill, all on Amazon. Fairly inexpensive. The white ceramic ones, I think I got them on sale on Amazon, and they were $21 maybe. And then, but I've seen the price a little higher. I think I just got lucky that day. It was a sign I needed to buy them right now. And I like them because they don't get hot. So that's what's great about those white ceramic ones, is they do not get hot. I mean, they can if you actually hold it on your nail and keep drilling. I mean, of course, anything's gonna get hot, but it if you're doing it correctly, then you will not have a heat moment with it. Oh, sorry. So here's the other bit that I like. Let me see. So it's a little bit squarer. And I'm sure these colorings mean something. Again, not a nail tech, so I don't know what they would mean. The other one didn't have a coloring. This one does, it's blue. And then this last one that I'm gonna use, I'll go ahead and show it to you right now, since I'm gonna use it anyways. It's kind of maybe like a teardrop shape, or I don't know what you'd call that, where it's pointy and it's really fine tip, and then it's got colorings on it too. So I don't know, if you decided that you want bits like this, this came in a set. It came with 10, and they are really, really good. This one is super effective and will get right down in there. Honestly, you probably could use this one just to start, and maybe even be your only one, but I like to kind of build the edge here and just refine it really, really, really well by just kind of taking my time and chipping away with, you know, different bits without just hacking away my finger. And if you'll notice again, a lot of it is using really almost flat to the nail angle to carve down the dip powder there. And I do touch it directly to my cuticle. It doesn't hurt because it's just a little bit rounded there. And this one I'm going to do really lightly because I only did 3 dips and the triple vitamin is so thin. If you rest it too long on your flat, you could take a chunk of the flat, you know, like all the way to the nail and make it too sheer. You won't have the opacity that you want. And I've done that before where it had like a little patch where it was kind of sheer even though the color was not meant to be like that. But it's just because I filed so thin with the tool. So anyways, I just use this and take my time, go around. I'm not digging, but I am resting it next to my cuticle line. And there's some little areas that I want to make sure get just real smooth. And my dog is actually behaving, when he barks. We have really high ceilings in between the living room and the kitchen and hardwoods, so his bark just echoes, so loud. But I'm very proud of him for letting me do this video without barking the whole time, because you guys would not have heard a word I said. When you do that, which I've done plenty of times, you just stop your drill and laugh at yourself for being an idiot and keep going. Yeah, try not to do that if you can. Yeah, I don't think this is a how-to video. This is just if you wanted to watch me and make mistakes over and over, then you were in the right place. Okay, and then since this one is the flat one, or flat color, just again, really soft. I do not want to take too much off. I just want to make sure that it's smooth. And then it looks like it is, you know, coming off of my nail, like gradually, perfectly, if you can, you know, ideally. Okay, again, I'm going to do the pointy one. Not sure if I can get this to focus. That's what it looks like. This one makes it the finishing touch. It's like, wah, voila. So I started dipping in August, and one of the best things I can recommend is to join the buy sell trade site. You can get a sample, which at first I thought was super weird. I was like, no, I want a whole jar. Like, why would I get a teaspoon? But when you realize a teaspoon can really be probably 2 or 3 manicures, or if you're getting kind of an accent color, like these glittery ones that you're not wearing on every nail, I mean, that can last you for so long. So I built my collection really quick getting the samples, and then I decided I wanted to get the nice, you know, jars to put them in. So then I felt, you know, bougie, but they, it still was super cheap to do, and I have a great collection. I was very fortunate enough that I had referrals that helped me get a really good coupon with Revel. And so I picked up a bunch of colors. They had an amazing sale during the Black Friday sales, and I was able to get a bunch of colors that way too. And I'm waiting for them to have their next collection. So you know how they do the Wanderlust or the Dia de la Revel. I didn't get those collections, but I would be interested to see what they come out with maybe here this summer, because I have a coupon ready to go. And I got a gift certificate. My sweet neighbor gave me a gift certificate for my birthday. That was here in January. So I'm holding on to that bad boy. And, okay. So basically, point of the story is, Revel, go ahead, release your next collection. Because mama's got some money to burn. Alright, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to buff the ones that are glitter. We already buffed the ones that are flat, the color Blowout. I am going to buff it again just because I went over it with the edges with that drill. I want to make sure everything's just perfect. But earlier, I know this thumb looked really wonky because it got super thick with the... I ended up having a tip of Blowout because I screwed up and just got my mind, I don't know what I was doing. And then I also did 2 full coats of the glitter and a coat of clear. So that's 4 dips on here. But it's looking a lot better than it did earlier. Like earlier, it looked kind of like, oh god, she's got crazy old lady weird nails. Oh, I don't even think I was recording. I don't know what I was doing. Sorry. God, I'm the worst. That can't be 20 minutes already. Well, if it is, man, I'm making the longest video in the world. I don't know how people do this. I don't know how, like, the Kiara Sky videos, they're just like, zoop, zoop, zoop. Or even when Revel goes live. I'm over here like clearly taking up an hour of your time. I'm not sure how I'm gonna post these. I'm gonna try to, if I can, figure out how to match them all up together in one video. I just don't know if I'm that technologically savvy. If you're wondering what I'm doing and probably want it to be in focus, then this triple vitamin formula is so smooth and easy to buff that literally with your nail buffer, I like my edges to be so thin, just the tips. So this is how I hold my finger so that I can see what they're doing. And I get any gunk, you know, just kind of lightly stick the edge in there and flick it out. Get it really nice and clean. That one's already great, and so is this one. So you guys, this might be it. Make sure it's super squared. So don't be scared when you do this. I had to watch videos. I mean, that's how you learn. And they just went for it. You have to have the confidence, like hold your file T to your nail and get it nice and straight. But when you do it, like that one's straight, but my actual nail itself is crooked because my finger grows weird nails on that hand. So don't be afraid to adapt it to the way your nail is. Not everybody has like these perfectly flat nails, and mine, for example, on this hand, it's kind of like dented in, but if I do it right, and I file this way, and I file this way, it will balance out aesthetically. I do want to get a little bit more buffing on this side because I just feel like it's thick. Again, so I did buff the blowout nails because I wanted them to blend. But don't over buff because again, you can make it look patchy, especially because the triple vitamin is so nice and thin. Okay, we're gonna be done. I'm going to rinse, activate, and top coat. Bear with me while I rinse. I'm back. Eight. Okay, so I can move all of my little toys out of here, and I'm gonna bring my tray back because I have nail dust all here. And granted, I have glitter and a bunch of nonsense going on this tray, but if I spill one of my liquids, then it's easier to clean up. So here's what I do. You can see I have my paper towel right here. I just fold it over. So see it's clean. All the glitter's underneath. Yeah, I know that's probably not rocket science for anybody. I'm sure everybody does that. But dry them off real good. And get my activator back. This plastic tray, it's actually a drying tray and it's slanted, so it slants towards me. I got it from Target and I love it because it also has a rim on it, an edge to it. So if I did have some sort of catastrophic powder or liquid mess, I wonder if I can zoom this in. Hold on, sorry. I think it's as zoomed in as I can get. Yeah, that's as close as I can get you guys. Sorry. So anyways, if I did have a catastrophe, which I've had a few, unfortunately I didn't have it happen on top of this because I didn't have it at the time. But then I feel a little bit better that my countertop is safe. What I did, it was with my Revel top coat finish gel. The night before, I stayed up late and I dipped my nails. And in the morning, I was trying to clear off some things. I think I was actually going to take my products to work. I talked to one of my friends at work about it. She had just gotten hers that were heading in the mail. So I was going to just do like a quick overview for her on our lunch break. And so I grabbed it and I had not put the cap on. I hadn't twisted the cap on right. I did apparently just set the cap on it. So when I picked it up, it caught the rim. And I had basically super glue, whatever this stuff is, all over my granite counter. Like, it was a nightmare. And so I had to literally just let it dry and come back when I got home that night and just chip it off. And thankfully it didn't mess up my counters, but I was sick over it all day wearing at work if I had just wrecked my entire kitchen island. But I think at the salons, that granites actually can withstand acetone and some of the nail products. So maybe that was why it was fine, but I was just worried. I was pretty sure my husband was gonna murder me. Murder. Okay, what I did was just paper towel, getting the activator off, make sure I didn't have any, you know, just hanging out around the cuticles to harden my brush. And we're done with the activator. Okay, so my number 3, I told you how I keep it really low. I keep all of my liquids low, which is great because if I screw up, then I'm not gonna cry about it. But I am going to have the refill, and I'm gonna hope that during this session, I'm just gonna fill it up. It's like a 4th full now. Let's pray that I don't embarrass myself and harden my brush while I'm trying to make a video. I've had a good luck the last probably 4 or 5 manis. Nothing's happened, but it would be that day. So I go like this to tip it, right? Can you see? Hopefully. Do. And then you can wipe your brush. Since this is my thumb, I do want it loaded up a little bit. But I'm going to start at the middle, pull forward, and then I'm not getting the edges, okay? Just did 2 or 3 quick coats. Same thing there, I just did 1 fat swipe. This one, couple fat swipes, and tip, couple fat swipes, not getting close to the edges. Tip. Okay, this is my pinky, so just go whoop, 1 by 1. Oh, they're getting shiny. Oh, they're already starting to look great. Okay, this last coat, I'm gonna be more detailed. Okay, last coat. Trying to make sure that you can see what I'm doing. Okay, this one I do kind of wipe just a little bit. I probably shouldn't do this off camera. Okay, so I'm gonna tip, wipe just a little, so it's still a little bit loaded. I'm at a weird angle, and I drank so much coffee earlier today because I was like running around. We went to church early, and then I was cleaning the house. I drank so much coffee, so I had like the jitters earlier. I was probably shaky. I think I'm still a little bit shaky, even though I'm enjoying wine now. So if you could tell, I just went around, got nice and close to all my edges. Deserve a glass of, I'm sorry, a sip of wine for that. Okay. And now it's sparkling like crazy. You can only do, and I know most of you, if anybody watches this, already knows this, but so start here, push back, and then float all the way up. Same thing. Get nice and close though, but don't touch, because if you do, try to scrape it wet right away. What I was about to say is that I think most of you know you can only do 2 coats of your finish job. So when I first got my kit, that was one of the first lessons learned. I got the French kit from Revel, and I actually hadn't used many of the colors of that because I also got Atlas. It was during the retirement sale, and Atlas happens to be the perfect Carolina Panthers blue color. That teal is, oh, it's the best. And so I asked my husband what color I should do, because I always did French. I was always doing like bubbly. Was a color I'd go to the salon and spend $42 a pop for. It's insane. Because a half ounce jar of bubbly is only $8. or less if you have a coupon. So I figured Margot was like a good close alternative. I didn't know I was gonna fall down the rabbit hole with 1,000 dip powders. I don't have 1,000, but I have probably more than I should say. So here we are done. But yeah, that was the first mistake I made, was I tried to put, I think 3 or 4 of this finish gel on, and it got really foggy and streaky looking. It looked terrible. It was awful. And yeah, thankfully I had just joined the Revel community and they were able to help me out. I learned really quickly just reading about everybody else's experiences and just tips and tricks. So here's what I'm gonna rock for my mani. The Sugar Fairy Fierce is incredible. I'm so excited to get to try this one. And then Amanda Fierce. Oh, but yeah, so I used Atlas for my first manicure, and I immediately ordered more dip colors during the retirement sale because Revel ended up extending it, I think, by like 2 or 3 days. And so I bought 11 more colors. So basically, I think some of you might have had similar experiences that within like a 2-week period that you just bought, almost 20 colors because it's so fun and it's so easy and you can do it on your own time. I was a new mom and this was perfect for me. The baby's now asleep. He went to bed for the night, so I can just do my nails. Well, thanks for watching. If you watched this long, sorry, it was probably not the most professional video because I've never done a video like this before. But I hope if I did anything that helps you, or if you just got a chuckle at me making mistakes, that your day was good and that your time was fun spending here with me. I want to put cuticle oil on, and then in this video, here, I'll put some oil on. This is just Sally Hansen from the drugstore. But I feel like you have to end the video making the cuticle oil. I do have my cuticle candy pen, but it's not nearby. I have a couple of them. And of course, they're not here at the moment, but this is nearby. Okay, maybe that looks nicer. All right, well, thanks everyone.